Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
Say roll tide. Yeah.
I had a feeling that would come on.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, by the way, folks, you know what kind of family you have when you can't get the videos for yourself. You have to your wife has to go get the videos for you because people don't send them to you.
I sent them to y'all. I sent that one to all of y'all, to the group.
No.
Yes, I did.
Go look at it.
I'll look at it, but I could have sworn I sent that to the group.
Say hello to everybody real quick. Good
evening, everybody. Everybody in the chat. Bama Standard. Yes, we here. We are in the building. Huge win for Alabama. Thank you for joining us. Mike, Big Mike, a.k.a. Big Mike. The Running Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for joining us, Mike. Hope all is well, man. We love you. Yes, Herb and Rodg are in the building on another Saturday night. Last Saturday when we did this, our demeanor was somewhat different because of the outcome of that afternoon's game. I kind of felt like there was a stint in today's game when that could happen again, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't even want to do it this night." But hey, we're good tonight. Herb and I are good. We're in better spirits. Huge win by Alabama today, and keep in mind when I say huge win, it's not going to change like the trajectory of our March Madness thing or the SEC tournament. And the same with Auburn. They're still going to get the 1 seed. We get all that. But with the way that we've been playing basketball over the past 2 weeks and some of these losses, a lot of people in Bama Nation had doubts on how we were going to look going forward. Not the SEC tournament, but how we were going to look going into the March Madness. Me personally, this win is a lot better because of the type of basketball that we played today. And this is what I wanted to see, especially from our bigs. And we'll get into that soon. But for our bigs, this is what I've been wanting to see darn near all year. I mean, they went off. Huge win for Alabama. Just, again, not in the overall standing of things. It's not going to give us a 1 seed. We'll probably still have the 2 seed. That's fine. We put ourselves there. But it's just good to see us play good Alabama basketball.
Yep. So what part are we?
Before we get into everything, it's Saturday night. You know how Herb and I do it. Cheers and roll tide.
Roll tide. Also, I got to say hello to somebody special.
Yeah.
Dad.
Shout out to Dad.
Is upstairs watching this right now as we speak. So,
Dad, love you. Miss you all. Can't wait to see you all again. Hope you enjoy the show.
You know, he's probably smiling now like, hey, that's my boy. Yep. So, Dad, I hope you're enjoying yourself tonight.
Of course.
Oh, man. What? I mean, you know,
okay.
I mean, all right. Twist my arm, Mike. Twist my arm. Golly. I'm like Rock said, man.
Mike is very persuasive.
Love you, Mike. Hope you're doing all right, buddy.
Yes, sir. Love you, man.
Hopefully, go see you tomorrow, man.
Oh yeah.
Roll Tide. This one's for Mike. Guys. This doesn't count against our limit. This is for Mike.
This is my limit.
Man, where to begin? I mean, you said it perfectly. In the big scheme of things, I think this game was for the 3 seed or the 4 seed in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
Which only really matters. You know, if you fall to the 4 seed, you have to play Auburn earlier than normal.
Right.
That's kind of the only thing, if you consider that a big thing or not. Other than that, nothing really on the line, but how bad we were playing going into this. So it was like it started from the beginning. You could tell we came out with a little more fire and a little bit more like, all right, we got to change the trajectory of this team. So I love the way we started.
Yeah. Keep in mind, the last time we played Auburn, we started off down, 12-0. So that game went south very, very fast. This game was obviously the opposite of that. So I was very, very happy with the way we started.
Yep. One of the biggest things I saw, the difference is something I talked about with the first game. They were pressing up on us, and instead of trying to go by, we kept taking longer and longer threes. Yep. This game, we were going to the hole. I mean, almost from the jump.
Yes.
We were taking it to the hole.
I wonder if that has to do with something from our coaching staff. If Nate Oates was saying, listen, if they're going to play us the same way we did last time, let's grind it down there with them in the paint. Let's get some points in the paint. Filine, you can drive the ball. Mark Sears has some good drives from time to time. and we got two really, really good versatile bigs. Let's let them work. And that's exactly what we did this game. And that's how we stayed in the game. And that's how we won the game. So,
I agree. I agree. They were a lot tougher going to the hole. We weren't shooting as many threes. The threes we were shooting were mostly wide open and better shots. So even if we missed, they were ones you could live with. But
and I'm okay with that, missing a few from time to time. I'm not okay with us only shooting threes and remaining complacent and accepting the fact that is our only shot.
Yeah.
I understand our DNA is I understand our DNA is a 3-point shooting team. I get that. That's how Nate Oates wants to run the team. That's fine. But if that's not the best shot, let's get the best shot and let's give us what the defense is giving us, or let's take what the defense is giving us. So,
are you trying to watch LeBron over there? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm watching a little bit of it. I mean, we're down 4 right now. It's only once. Okay, it's at half now. So that's fine.
Okay, so now, all right, guys, we got 10 minutes. We can hurry. We get it.
No.
I guess so. Just approaching it, man. What's up, Cat? Roll Tide. Hope you're doing all right. And got some stuff going on for sure. Yeah. He's out of commission a little bit for the weekend, but like I said, sounds like he's in good hands, and he'll hopefully be back to normal Monday. Although if he can skip work on Monday, I think that's good also.
Yeah.
So I posted this a couple times, and every once, and I texted some people. Yeah. Grant Nelson is getting drug tested after this game.
Hey, Grant Nelson, listen, I've talked about him a few times throughout the year, and I always say, like, when you're 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet, you got to stop settling for layups, man. That you got to stop with that madness. So that dunk that he had in the first half over Cardwell. Let me tell you something. When you dunk on somebody on their gym, on their floor, then he dunked on Cardwell, then he turned around, bumped into Broom, did the crane kick in front of Broom. That's going to go down as a top 5 moment in UA sports history, and I absolutely loved it. I don't care. Wait, did they give him a tech for that or not? I don't think
no.
Okay.
The refs was like, "Hey, we should give you a tech, but that was smooth, bro.
Exactly.
That was smooth. We gonna let it slide."
I thought he was gonna get a tech, and I missed like the little portion afterwards, but they didn't give a tech. But that was the type of that's what I want to see from my team. I want to say, look, get in their face, show them, hey, we could hang out with you guys. We can hang with y'all. So I was perfectly fine with that. It just pumped even more life into our team. I loved every second of it. I love the absolute disrespect. Just like Charmaine said, that's my kind of petty. I'm gonna get in your face. This what y'all. I mean, we started it. Y'all took it over when y'all beat us, but it's still ours. The crane kick is still ours.
Yep.
Hey,
what's up, Carol? Thank you for that too. Appreciate that as well. Hope you're having a good night. Like Charmaine, that was definitely my kind of petty. He just kind of, and I think when he did it, he was like, "Yeah, I know I'm finna get teed up."
Yes,
after he looked on his face, said, "Oh yeah."
His face was red. He kind of smiled. He's like, "Oh crap!" But I'm like, "Dude, take it." If I'm Nate Oates, I'm applauding him. I'm like, "We could take this tag.
Yes, we could take that one." The fact they didn't give it to, I mean, he was just. This is like the Grant Nelson game part 2. 23 points,
8 boards,
hit 3 threes, 8 boards, 1 block, but it didn't even feel like it tells the whole story. He was more aggressive. He was going to the hole. He was taking threes only when it was just kind of like, look, I'm wide open. I have to take this one.
I'm okay with that every once in a while. Totally. I'm not okay with Grant Nelson settling for threes.
Yeah.
Use your body, go down low, bang. If that's not there, if you're wide open for 3, it's okay if you take it, you miss a few. But if you hit a couple, then I'm fine. But yeah, to your point, sorry to interrupt you. He had 23 and 8. Cliff had 15 and 8. Those are the type of numbers that I want to see from my big man. I want to see at least 8 and 8 every game.
As critical as I've been about Clifton, what do you think tonight? Did he redeem himself a little?
He redeemed himself. Keep in mind,
So what's she talking about on going hard on the paint Thursday nights on the Bama Standard Network?
Yeah.
I was on Cliff this last one. I was like, he's going up weak. He's not being physical.
Yep.
And I don't think I was wrong. I think that's what I saw.
I agree 1,000%. I'm with you right there. And I've said some things about Cliff too. I think your criticism was warranted. But maybe he heard you. Maybe Justin, maybe somebody from the Bama Standard sent him a note or something. Say, hey, we need to listen to something right quick. Herb's over here talking about you. So Cliff heard you. Cliff redeemed himself. And I know Grant Nelson had the big dunk in the first half. Don't forget, Cliff dunked on John I. Broom in the second half.
Yeah,
and he got in his face and said, so he was like, yeah, so 15 and 8 from my big man. Those are the type of numbers. Those are the type of numbers. He heard y'all. Yeah. I told you, Justin sent him a text. He said, "Big Cliff." And Herb over here talking about you. Cliff said, "All right, I'm gonna show him." So I'm glad he heard the message. And man, I was so happy with the way our front court played today. So happy.
Yeah. If I had any, I see this. Nado's telling the story on Jocks. She said Jocks 94, another one in 20 years. Yeah,
okay.
That was just you're got a nasty email about they blame her more than you. That's fine. You know what? If I take that blame and we get pumped up like that, I would definitely take it. No, I mean, if they failed, not failed. The one area that we were kind of hurting in, was containing Broom. He was just way more physical.
Yep.
That was the only problem. But otherwise, man, the bigs stepped up and they came to play today. And they were a huge. I mean, we haven't even got to the fourth quarter stuff. I mean, the fourth quarter, the final shot stuff yet. Because Mark Sears did not have a good game. We'll get to him in just a second, folks. To give everybody else some love first.
Yeah.
I thought was it Cheryl off the bench.
Huge.
In that rotation too. That was huge, man. He gave
17.
He was like, look, I might be out here 10 minutes. I'm giving you 17. I'm gonna give you everything I got for 17 minutes.
8 points and 7 rebounds in 17 minutes off the bench. That's perfect. Yeah. I just hope that after the game, Nate Oates and which they probably do, and Nate Oates and the staff, they go over the numbers and say, this is the type of production we need going into March. You got your 2 big men down low. Hey, I need at least 8 and 8. If you could give me 8 and 8, that I'd greatly appreciate it. Let the little guy shoot the ball. Let Sears file on and Holloway, let them jack up the threes. That's fine. I need you big men playing like big men.
Well, I did feel bad for Holloway. He did not have a good game.
He didn't have a
mood every time he touched the ball.
Do you think the crowd had something to do with that, or do you just think it was because it seemed like whenever he made a mistake, Oates pulled him. Every time he had a turnover, Oates just pulled him. So I mean, he didn't really.
Well, a couple of them were bad turnovers, though.
Yeah,
and a couple of them he just didn't look comfortable. So maybe it's got to be tough going back to the place where you started.
It does,
and getting that kind of reception.
And it's not just the fans; it's probably guys on the other team probably chirping at him too. Like, hey, Aiden, is this really what you want? And you're like, all right, bro, come on, on, it's the transfer board. And speaking of bad turnovers, as you just mentioned, let's just take this time out right quick and let the one that's the elephant in the room, Jaron Stevenson. Listen, man. I don't know if you watch the show. I don't know if you know who HerbnRodg are. I don't know if you watch the Bama Standard. I don't know what you do on your free time. I appreciate you playing for the University of Alabama. But if you commit another turnover like that, like you did in the second half, if you do that in March and we lose a game or something, I'm not one of those crazy guys. I'm not going to blow your phone out. I'm not doing all that. Just be a little more careful with the ball, man. We appreciate you.
I think we were up one or two. We had a tight lead, so it might have been a 2-point lead. We get a rebound.
Yes.
We're trying to rush into a fast break. Stevenson gets his hand on the ball, doesn't know what he's doing, jumps in the air, and throws it backwards. And I was like, dude, a turnover.
I was like, just dribble over half court and then just hold it if you want to. I was completely confused about that. So
he was too. And that was a chance to grab a little momentum and get a bucket, and it was just kind of because one of our players had taken off, so I thought maybe he's going to kick it ahead. Auburn, I guess, had good transition defense, but had you just stood still, that's a better play than what you did.
Yep.
And I don't know why the jumping there. That was just that whole. I just watched that.
I couldn't figure that one out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love Dickie V, and I was happy that he was returning, but I stopped listening to the audio down the stretch because it was like. They would say something about Alabama, Auburn, a great rivalry. He'd bring up Duke and North Carolina. They brought up Johnny Broom. He had to bring up Cooper Flagg. And I was like, I get that you're a huge ACC guy.
He's an ACC guy, yeah.
But I was like, not ready to hear it. So, they contained Sears today, and it just kind of showed you the strength of the team. Phylon, I think he showed you why he's on. Yeah, he clearly hasn't. And I said, look, Dickie V is great for college basketball. I'm glad that he's returned. I don't want to trash anything that he said or did, but it was kind of just like, all right, stop with if you're watching this game and the only thing you're thinking of is Duke, North Carolina later, like just go watch that game.
Listen, this year, maybe even last year, the SEC has been the most dominant conference in college basketball. That's just something it seems like he might not ever accept because of, again, the 90s basketball and the whole Duke North Carolina rivalries and all the players that came through those programs and all the great games. And I get all that. But to your point, like I said, come on, bro. Nobody's really caring about this Duke UNC game later. It's not the same. You got one team over here and they got one team way down here. So let's stop hyping that up.
Yes. One of those is a 1 seed and the other one is hoping to make the tournament.
Right.
It's just not the same.
And North Carolina lost. They were in that game for a little while, but then Duke came back
for the first half and they said, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
So even in the losses we've had lately, I've been impressed with Phylon's poise and his defense. I hated that the Tennessee game ended the way it did because I thought he was much better than how the outcome was. Even in this game, he only shot 5 for 13, 1 for 5 from 3, but he was a great presence.
Yep.
He was very steadying when he had the ball, hit his free throws, great defense. If you're lazy around the ball with the ball around foul line, he's taking it from you.
Exactly.
Like, that's just it. So
exactly.
No, I was very happy to see his game. When he's healthy and he's out there, man, we're just a much, much better team. So 35 minutes out there on the court, 1 turnover. Yeah. And that's something else. Well, we'll get to Sears in a minute. We're saving the last part for him. So it really is this year. They're sitting there debating how many teams we can get in there. And we might look at that today. We might wait until Tuesday to cover that a little bit more since we're kind of already running. But we just was. I mean,
that was
I would love it. Man. Yeah, I would love it. As long as we could both end up on the different sides, I'd love to see that matchup.
That's what I wanted to happen too. Is we want the smoke, but it's like don't put Alabama and Alabama and Auburn in the same bracket. If we meet, let's meet in a Final Four or something like that, in that type of setting, but not in the same bracket.
Yeah, something with all the marbles.
Yeah, especially if you want ratings. Come on.
Yeah. So we pretty much covered everybody else, right? Holloway, Diabate had a kind of a quiet. So can we just say one thing? Diabate, you're not a point guard. Yeah. I don't need you breaking the ball up and like trying to cross anybody over. Like I don't.
Yeah, don't do that, dude.
No more of that.
We need you to do. We need you in that Herb Jones type role. That's what we need you to do. Get us rebounds, play some good defense, get us some points. We're good.
Yeah. And I think we're on the upper end of that. I thought it was at least 12. Like I said, we'll break down the numbers a little bit more.
I'm sitting here trying to break down all the teams like right in my head without looking at everything, but I would say I thought it was more around 10. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. And Oklahoma and Texas are playing right now, but Lenardi was on here and he's like only one of these that he thinks might.
Yeah, because both of those teams are on the first 4 out right now.
Yeah. So it might be the 10 then. So I think in the middle of the year maybe we were pushing for more, but we might end up like just there. All right, so I think that's everybody else has gotten their talk. Sears, your game was 3 for 9 shooting, 1 for 4 from 3, made your free throws, only 1 turnover, like I said, 7 assists, active hands. He looked at least more engaged defensively than I've seen, in several games, right?
Right.
But you throw all that out the window.
Yeah.
Right. Because at that point, what do you got? You have 7 points and you're 2 for 8 shooting. He wanted the ball at the end.
I love it.
He wanted the ball at the end.
I love it. For you to be the starting point guard and leading scorer of the team, only to have 9 points and to your point, still say, hey, at the ball, I thought it was going to be foul line to take it in. He gave it to Sears. I'm not giving it back. I'm taking it to the hoop, and I'm hitting one of the biggest shots of my career. It was awesome. When you look at Sears' stats again, just 3 for 9, 1 for 4. He didn't shoot a lot. He played 40 minutes, played darn near the whole game, pretty much the whole game. So
they made an effort to take him out of the game.
They were locking him down on the perimeter, so they took that away from him. So that's why our front court ate tonight. They just did really, really well. So hey,
no, I was proud of him, man. Ending the game the way that is, I was proud of him. That shot. One of my things with him has been it's either threes or layups.
Right.
So to hit a floater to end it shows a little bit of mid range. And then by the stare down in the crowd afterwards, he was like,
"You have to, but you have to in this type of game. You hit a shot like that, you stare at the crowd, wave, do all that." And I saw on social media, I guess, where some of the Auburn fans were throwing, I don't know if it was towels or whatever. I'm like, whatever, that's cool. We won the game.
Yeah. Well, they were okay when they won and they started running around with belts and whipping stuff and everything. So
exactly.
Guys,
Exactly.
But just a huge win. It was just exciting to watch, bro. I was screaming at the end of that one.
I didn't get to that level yet. I want to at some point, but I was just excited to see us in the game, the entire game, and excited to see the victory. And again, it's just more of it doesn't really change what our rankings going forward, but it lets people know that hey, our basketball team's all right. We're gonna be all right. We had a couple of bad losses. We didn't play well against Florida. We had the bad loss with Tennessee, etc. But we're gonna be all right going into March. Give us that 2 seed, and we're gonna wreck something.
Well, so your locks for ESPN going into today or ending today: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
How many?
They have us at 9 locks right now. They have Georgia as should be in. Vandy. Did Georgia play today? Yeah, they beat Vandy. That's what Carol was talking about. She thinks they sealed it today. Vanderbilt was a lock a little while ago, and then they lost to Arkansas and Georgia. So now people are kind of wondering. So if one of those teams make it, that's our 10th. If both make it, that's 11. And then right under that,
Kentucky and Missouri are in, correct? Both?
Correct.
I know
your locks right now, as of with a couple of teams still playing, you got Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Auburn, A&M, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Missouri.
I forgot about Ole Miss. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So something is Mississippi State is like 10th in the 10th seed in this bracket, but they're the number 9 team in. So somebody else has lost a spot.
Okay.
But anyway, like I said, we'll cover more of the SEC tournament stuff on Tuesday.
Right.
8 to 11,
when do we play? I'm trying to. I know you just said Friday. Okay.
So our game on Friday will be the winner of. You'll either play Kentucky, or I think it's Mississippi State or LSU. Winner of Game 4. No, I'm sorry.
It's either 12 or 2:30, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on what happens. Okay.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I might look at Georgia, Oklahoma, or Kentucky. So Georgia and Oklahoma will play. The winner of that will play Kentucky, and then the winner of that will play us.
Okay.
So
So what is your outlook on the SEC tournament? Do you think we need to win the whole thing? Do you think we need to make a deep run? What would your ideal finish in this SEC tournament look like?
If you win your first game, right, and lose your second, I think you're a 2 seed.
If you win your first one game, you're a 2 seed.
Yeah, we're at a double bye, so you only have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
We're at the quarter, the semifinal, and then the okay.
And what are we? What did I just say? We're the 3 seed, so we're on the same side as Florida. So your first game, your toughest person looks like it's Kentucky. Your second game would be Florida, and then your third game would be, presumably Auburn.
Gotcha.
If you beat Kentucky and then lose to Florida again, I think that you're at 2. So it's not even just at our look. They have been doing this since we did the crane. So it's not even just on this last win. They have been doing it all over for years now since we came up with it. So that's definitely why it came up today. And that's why I have for the people complaining about it or saying whatever, Auburn side, not Alabama side, I'm not listening to any of you guys because you've been mocking us relentlessly since then. So that's why they got it back today.
Yeah.
And appreciate you stopping by, Diz. Appreciate
you, Dizzy. We appreciate you, man. Yeah.
So let's say you lose the first game. I'd have to check out all the other tournaments to see if that slides you into the 3 spot. You win the first game and lose the second one, I think you're still at a 2. You win both and get to the finals, win or lose, you're still a 2, but there's a chance at a 1. Right now you've got Auburn, Florida, Houston.
Tennessee? Or are you talking about the 1 seeds?
The 1 seeds.
Auburn, Florida, Houston, and Duke.
Yeah. Are your 1. So I'd have to see the other tournaments. I haven't paid enough attention to the rest of the country, but that's what I would think, Raj.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
agreed. I think we'll be the 2 seed again. It just depends on what region we end up at. And I don't know. I'm just kind of looking forward to it. I know when bracketology and all the brackets come out, we all print them out and we all do the same thing. We all have the same mentality. Yeah, I know this team's going to beat this team. And I go on ESPN.com and Jay Billis says this is what's going to happen. And then what happens after that first week and you're looking at your bracket? Well, maybe next year.
My bracket is usually ruined on the first weekend. So I will definitely post mine for everybody to see. And you're going to want to go in a different direction from whatever I pick.
Gotcha.
Let's say you do 3 brackets. That's every time. Yeah. Let's say you do 3 brackets. How many brackets are you going to have Alabama winning? The whole
thing.
Out
of 3, I would say at least 1. I would say 1 probably. And again, it just depends on what our brackets look like, our region and stuff. But I would say at least 1. I'm not going to have Auburn win any because of what a good brother told me. So
what was the phrase that your brother told you?
Herb once said that friends don't let friends pick Auburn, and that applies to brothers too. So I just can't do it. So
well, that's good. Well, like we said, guys, if you join us on Tuesday, we'll have a little bit more about this game as the dust kind of settles. Maybe some post game reactions. That's something you do got to talk about. I'll bring that up. And then we will go over the latest bracketology, the SEC tournament. We'll know the exact seeds again. We'll put it up there, and you know, the other SEC teams who it matters more to. Like the top seeds are all locked in to the NCAA tournament. So
yes.
What's up, Britt? How are you doing?
Britt, you should have recorded a video of this. I wish you had got a video.
Screaming we were. I thought you had fallen down the stairs and broke your knee.
Oh my God.
Right, because you know we'd already had our hearts broken with Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
You're getting down to the end of the game. Sometimes our late game execution has not been the best, right? So, and then it's, you know, you kind of starting off the same still. You're like, all right, are we getting the ball? Okay. Sears didn't have a whole lot of time when he got the ball. And the announcers even said it. So it's kind of depends on which way you look at it.
Yeah.
When you have the last shot, a lot of teams like to have the last shot. Either I make it or we go to overtime.
Yeah.
I'm in the favor of like, hey, get it up at like 5 seconds and maybe get a rebound because we were killing them on the boards. But so where's the Aunt Brit video? Oh, let's see if we can get it up there. But where are you at, Rodg? How do you feel on it?
What
with
late
the
game
time left? Yeah, and the time left to get it.
I was actually absolutely fine with it today, as opposed to how we ended the Tennessee game. This seemed like a complete opposite. I think we controlled the clock the last minute. We played really, really well. I wish it didn't go into overtime. So it is what it is, because I was really, really nervous with the fact that it was going over to overtime. I had to take a look at foul trouble and things like that, how much gas we had left in the tank.
That's a big one right there, especially at the end of the season, the way we were playing.
Exactly. But luckily, things turned out our way. And again, at the last second, I really thought Phylon was going to take it. And I didn't know how that was going to work with Mark Sears being the leader of the team. But he gave it to Sears, and I was like, all right, I'm fine with it. Let's see what happens. So turned out the way I wanted to, so I'm good. I'm good with it.
Who do you think is winning the player of the year, Broom or Flag?
Probably, I hate to say it, Flag. I mean, I don't hate to say it. I really don't care, to be honest. But I'm going to go with Flag. And I don't know if it's like because it's an ACC type thing, but right now I'm just going to go with Flag. But Broom is right there, though.
Yeah. Do you not put any weight into the conference affiliation then?
I do personally. I mean, I would look at Auburn's schedule, especially who they've been playing all year, especially in the SEC, and say they played a lot tougher teams more times. But that's just me personally. But I think I probably have to say the Flag's probably going to get it.
I would probably agree. I think. How much do you think? Well, you know, we'll save that debate. We'll save that debate until
that'll
Tuesday.
be okay.
There's some good point. There's some good points in there.
Gotcha.
And this is because it was specifically requested.
Say Aunt Brit.
Thank you. All done.
Say Brit.
All done.
Okay, that's close enough.
Lord.
You got a beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
A beautiful family.
Thank you.
I'll do this one. So, what do you guys feel overall? Mindset going to the postseason was great. I think they're good. I think the fight that they showed coming out in the beginning of this game tells you where they're at. I mean, they showed up the schedule for the last 2 weeks, and people got to understand it sucks to lose some of these games, but it really is a grind with the SEC. And, you know, you don't play nothing but top 25 teams in your season in any other conference. But here.
Yes.
So I'd have felt worse, obviously, if we lost and had a 3-game losing streak going into the postseason, but getting a win here makes me feel better. You're off until Friday. Your first round game, like you've already handled Kentucky twice. And the other guys, Oklahoma, Georgia. Like I think you feel fine going into that. And the SEC tournament doesn't carry the weight like maybe you would think, just because your seeds are so locked in certain places. So
No, I agree. I agree. I feel like this win kind of settled down the nerves of a lot of Alabama fans.
Absolutely will, for sure.
Because we just didn't know how our team was going to look going into March. And again, I mean, the SEC tournament, it's important, but I'm thinking more about March Madness right now. So we didn't know how our team was going to look, especially after the past 2 weeks. So I think this kind of settled us down a little bit. It gave us more optimism as opposed to just more just kind of negative feelings and perspective of the team. The thing that I pose to you and to Alabama Nation is like, are we going to continue? Can we play like this for 5 or 6 games in March Madness? Can we put up this same type of balanced effort? Now, by balance, I mean Mark Sears didn't have a big game, but can our front court step up for 5 or 6 games in March, whatever many games it's going to be in March Madness, and play this way? That's what I want to see going down the stretch.
Yeah. The reason why I say yes is because Mark Sears did have one of your worst games against the number 1 seed, and you still won.
Yep.
And Holloway didn't play well, and you still won. Youngblood didn't play well.
Youngblood got hurt.
Yeah.
And Youngblood got hurt.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Okay, go ahead.
Baker was like, and so I went on Twitter and I checked out comments, and even Auburn people are tired of this. They're like, he's going to wait till a key game.
Yep.
And cost us a game. That was just a blatant elbow to the back of the head.
He got away with the first one.
Yeah.
Then he did it again. And then he basically got mad that he got caught. Come on.
Yeah. And that's my favorite. What? I'm like, that wasn't a push in the back to get position. It was a pow. And then, his coach was, I want to see it. I want them to call the first one. What do you mean the first one? He didn't get fouled. Like, stop posturing and I do wonder if he is going to cost him a game. It's like the Draymond Green thing at this point.
Yeah.
So
he had the same type of
50%
incident.
of his last one. I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, because I was about to say he had the same type of incident. I forgot the team because they was on Twitter today, but I forgot the team he did it. But he did something similar to them too. Keep in mind, Baker Mazara is actually 25 years old too. So at some point, man, hey, come on, bro.
If you're not getting your doctorate and you're just playing
you
basketball,
gotta
I need you to
bro.
do better. So
come on, Cam Rising.
Yes.
Come on.
That's what I didn't get. And then looking at the ref, like, what, man? You're just mad you got caught. So,
yeah.
All right, like we said, folks, more will be coming up on Tuesday. We won't break down the game as much. We appreciate you joining us here. We'll talk a little bit about it. We'll break down the rest of the SEC. We'll look at the SEC tournament. We'll have exact words about where we think they're going to land up. We might go ahead with our Johnny Broom versus Cooper Flag debate. Who's going to win the Player of the Year?
Yep.
And much, much more. So you say Youngblood is good at playing sneaky bully ball. Yeah. Youngblood's a physical presence. That's the thing.
He is.
Baker Mazara gets into this way too much. So if that's what it takes, and a guy like him needs to push him and put him over the top, I'm all for it. But Baker Mazara, he, like I said, it's Draymond Green time.
Yep.
The refs are going to be watching you. You're not getting away with stuff. So, yeah, he is.
He's stocky. Yep.
All right, Rodg. We appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yep.
Like I said, we'll be back Tuesday. We'll have more videos coming up this week as well. We owe you a top 5. So Rodg's top 5, so we'll get that up. Yep, that was my fault. We had a little production issues this week. So we're going to leave you with this one more time in case you missed it at the top.
Say Roll Tide. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Kat.
All
Roll
right.
Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide, everybody. Have a good night.